And now it's time for Fabulous Film and Friends. Welcome to our 121st episode of the Triple F and our early summer confab about two big Hollywood tentpole entries that crashed and burned miserably at the box office in the wake of Gen Z's love affair with the indie influencer horror movies, to the point where Gen X has to face the facts and realize that our day of IP dominance is over. We're talking about 2026's Star Wars The Mandalorian Grogu, directed by Jon Favreau, and starring Pedro Pascal, Martin Scorcese, Jeremy Allen White, and Sigourney Weaver, along with Masters of the Universe, directed by Travis Knight, and starring Nicholas Galitzine, Camila Mendez, Idris Elba, Alison Brie, Morena Baccarin, James Purefoy, Charlotte Riley, and Jared Leto. Back again for more is Mr. 80s Showbiz Trivia himself, Dr. David Johnson, DMD. Dave, for 200 Mattel proof of purchase stickers, name of the month and year that He-Man, the action figure, was first found at the Malheur Drug Toy section's shelves.
1982.
Month.
Oh, November. Oh, when was it?
May.
Oh,
May of 82.
But I had the year.
You did. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you remember it? You remember seeing it?
I remember walking in there and seeing a lot of things, but I don't remember He-Man.
So here I was in the 8th grade, after the best summer of movies of my life. Star Trek II, Blade Runner, Tron, Conan. It was well, I didn't like E.T., but I remember Conan the Barbarian had come out, and there were those figures staring at me. And I'm not going to say which girl I had a crush on, but all I could think about was that girl, and do I risk it all by buying that He-Man figure? Well, I bought the He-Man figure.
And do you still have it?
Roseanne still has it on her shelf.
She does?
She found it in the attic and put it, ironically, you know how hipsters do. She put it ironically with Skeletor on one of her mantles of pop culture.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. Before we let these critical fists fly in a flurry of thunder punches, the synopses. In The Mandalorian and Grogu, ace bounty hunter Din Djarin and his adorable little green pal Grogu team up with the New Republic for a dangerous mission. Deliver Rada the Hutt, the kidnapped son of Jabba the Hutt, back to his ruthless gangster relatives known only as the Twins. In exchange, the Republic will get critical intel on the whereabouts of several high-ranking Imperial loyalists still on the run. In Masters of the Universe, the evil Skeletor seizes control of the planet Eternia and enslaves Prince Adam's royal parents, forcing the young noble into exile on Earth. Stuck living as a regular human in a soul-crushing and emasculating human resources job for a nameless corporation, Adam quietly yearns for the adventure and heroics he was born for. When Eternian warrior Princess Teela shows up on Earth, chased by Skeletor's mindless henchman Beastman, Adam finally gets his chance. He returns home with Teela to confront Skeletor and the forces of darkness and to claim his destiny as the most powerful being in the universe, He-Man. Are these two phenomenal failures actually fabulous? Find out. Okay. David Johnson. Did you like these two films?
I liked one better than the other. Let's say that.
Okay. Earnestly, did you like both of them?
I didn't mind He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I actually kind of liked it. I was surprised. I wasn't going in with high expectations, and so I was pleasantly surprised.
You didn't want to see it, though.
I didn't want to see it, but I saw it for this podcast.
Sure.
Fabulous Films and Friends.
Did you want to see The Mandalorian?
Not really. I was going to go because my son wanted to see it because it brought back COVID memories when the Mandalorian series, we were locked at home and we streamed it. But, so I really didn't want to see either one. And, but I was pleasantly surprised with Masters of the Universe, considering I think there was potential there. It could have been better, but,
Yeah, I thought, first, I did not like... Okay, when I started The Mandalorian and Grogu, I thought, oh, these nerds are just going crazy. This is fine. Because I I will say The Mandalorian and Grogu has, and just as extra credit, I watched The Rise of Skywalker again just to see what the deal, like why because I hated The Rise of Skywalker more than the prequels, more than I think it's between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Both were just. I mean,
they were
The
both
Force
bad.
Awakens was a disappointment and typical J.J. Abrams crap. But there were some things I kind of liked. Like some of it was okay. But then The Last Jedi was just awful, and then The Rise of Skywalker was so awful. But I mean, between the two, I'd actually say I'd prefer The Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, that said, just the worse than the prequels. And I was thinking, oh, this is better. But in a way, as it finished, it wasn't. It just felt like, who cares? Right? Like what was the purpose of this? At least The Rise of Skywalker, as shitty and as dumb and mindless as it was, felt kind of like it was a big budget Star Wars movie.
Yeah, this one didn't feel like a big budget Star Wars movie.
Just felt like, what the hell are you here for? Like by the middle, I'm like, why am I still? It's over. It's over. It's done. Yeah. You finished. It was an hour-long episode stretched into 2 hours. When Yoda or Grogu is saving him in the swamp, I'm like, I just don't care. I want to go home. Yeah. Mom, I want to go home. It's like I could have left. I wouldn't have missed a thing. So it just felt like not trying whatsoever. Like, what the hell is this? It's hard to see. Like, what's worse, J.J. Abrams? I'm really mad at J.J. Abrams. but what's worse, J.J. Abrams is just total shit, or this just not trying? I can't decide.
I think for J.J. Abrams,
let's zoom out for a better angle on this.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what the hell is going on. Sorry, it's a new iPad. I don't know.
Yeah. We're zooming in. We're zooming out. In special
it's the
3D
Force.
vision.
It's the Force. Yeah. At least The Rise of Skywalker and what's the last one? What
That's
the heck?
it.
Is that the last? That's the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd think The Last Jedi would be the last one, but it's not.
But I mean, at least the movie had a big film look to it. Does that make sense? Well,
that's exactly what I just said, Dave.
Yeah, so, I know. I know, but I mean, just saying, at least that had a look to it, even though I didn't really like it. This one felt like it was a, Netflix streaming series, and so I would say, at least the Rise of Skywalker, I would say I liked it better than.
I don't know if I liked it better, but at least it had an air of importance, where this just felt like I don't know why this Ludwig Göransson gets all this credit. I hate his music. I hate it.
Yeah.
As a film score nerd, I hate his music. I just think it's like The Emperor's New Clothes. Everyone's like, "Oh, Ludwig Göransson is the best composer." They're like, "No, he's not. His music sucks." I'm saying it. His music sucks. I hate it. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It doesn't sound like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't like the music. I don't like the pacing. I just was bored. And then I didn't like Rada the Hutt. I'm like, why doesn't he sound like
Yeah.
Like, why does he sound like, "Hey man, I'm tired of my parents"? Like, what?
He was a sensitive Hutt.
Just like, ugh, this is just I don't know, lifeless.
Yeah,
the movie was lifeless. Like the opening scene seemed like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, oh, okay, there's snow walkers and all this. I'm like, it had a feeling it had that look of Solo, that drab look. So I was immediately going, yeah, this kind of looks boring, but it's fine. It's a okay action sequence. Though, suffering from being just totally awesome. You're like, I'm so awesome. I don't even have to look at people when I shoot. Take that. Just kind of like, all right, fine. He's James Bond, fine. And so it's kind of like, I could feel like, is this trying very hard? It just doesn't have any tension. But it looked cool.
It felt like a John Wick movie, though.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what they want, because they know how these nerds love their John Wick.
Yeah. But I mean, this movie isn't doing well in the box. It didn't do well.
They're bragging because it made $300 million. But the problem is, it's theater owners take half of that. So it's still in the hole. It's gonna be in the hole for a while.
What was the budget on that?
I think 170 is I think what it cost. So
and they made that,
and you don't see it, right? Like where's the 170 mil on this? It just doesn't feel like it. You know, that just shows you how expensive movies are now.
Well, as I was sitting in the theater in both, I saw Masters of the Universe yesterday. There's something about seeing a movie in the theater that you don't get at home.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's just a cool experience, and luckily there were a lot of Gen Xers in the movie theater, so there was no throwing popcorn and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, I wonder if the younger generations with all the streaming, you know, and everything, they just, we grew up with movies.
Plus, COVID did a number on them. They've just watched nothing but movies at home. They have COVID ruined my life. Remember when we saw Inner Space and those two girls were talking behind us? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Meg Ryan is so pretty. For our listening audience, Dave and I went to see Inner Space in '87, and there were two little chatty Cathy's behind us. Oh, Meg Ryan is so beautiful. And we were like, what the hell? So now the entire world acts like this in the movie theater. So like, oh my goodness. Meanwhile, back to He-Man. So Mandalorian for me was weak and pointless. He-Man had purpose. I will give it that. It had a subtext. It was like Barbie. It wanted to do like a meta sort of examination of, instead of femininity, it was masculinity. It just didn't. It was just weakly written, and it had like 6 writers, and not one of those guys could figure out the story, which to me was just obvious. So my big problems with the film are twofold. A, it didn't really examine masculinity in a meaningful way. Like, okay, so he has an emasculating job with a bunch of corporate phonies, and you know, he's a corporate drone talking doublespeak, corporate doublespeak, and he hates it. But he ends up using it, and then my problem is there was no contrast between Eternia and him. So it's just all these morons who write movies today. Like, well, it's not funny if there's no contrast, right? So they're like, we're having a moment here, Adam. Well, no, dummies. The difference should be they're all warlike. They can be like Drax. They can be really literal. She's like, to me, Tila should be like, well, if you don't kill people, you're a wimp. Or like, well, if you can't fight, I don't want to have anything to do with. Like, he should try to kiss her, and she's like, no. Only a real man can kiss me, a warrior. Like, they should all be like warriors, right? And so he should be the one to like introduce a sort of, metrosexual. No, I need to understand Skeletor. Like, I'm just a caveman, Like, he should have some sort of bring Earth sort of. Like, they should all be warriors, right? Like, it's the warrior planet. And it just seemed like, what? They had something, and they just didn't allow. And so they just kept undercutting with jokes. Like, why are you laughing at me? Because my name is Fisto. Like, it shouldn't have been all these dumb, like, how many times are we going to make the Fisto joke? It's so obvious, but it should have been him snickering, not everybody else. His name is Fisto because he's the biggest fist. I just thought they didn't play it like the contrast. There was no contrast between his sort of dumb Earth double speak and their literal, we want to kill the win. It should have been, he does try to, I like the idea that he tries to understand Skeletor, and Skeletor won't have it. It's like, okay, I'm going to kill you. I like that idea. It just it wasn't consistent. That's my problem. It's like, you had a movie here. You could have actually analyzed true masculinity, which would be based in chivalry, a sense of spirituality, and a sense of honor, right? But they didn't. Like, you can make up your Eternian gods. I don't need him like, well, I believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not asking that. I'm just saying at least have a sense of this honor that comes from God or a spiritual source. And Skeletor is the evil version. And that's another, I hate to bring up obsession again, but that's a problem. These kids today, they don't want to deal with, well, what's the good side? What's the flip side of just an evil spirit taking over? Well, I don't know. They don't even analyze it. Well, it just sucks, bro. So these movies are thin. And
I think I think they tried. Like, in fact, it's interesting. I was discussing, I don't know, with somebody online, who I don't really agree with all of his masculine, the alpha bros,
Yeah.
the guys that are oh, there's a term for it, the younger generation. I call them alpha bros. And, with man of arms,
Yeah.
he's
But he
trying
wasn't that
to,
alpha. He should have been
no, he
Arlie
wasn't.
Ermy. He should have been Arlie Ermy to
Yeah,
little Prince Adam. It should have been just,
yeah,
give us some, again, and the same in art. It's higher, darker darks and lighter lights, contrast. So there's
yeah,
no,
yeah.
that the problem, it's a muddle. It was a big pop culture muddle, and I
But
was
I think,
irritated with it.
I don't know who wrote it. Are they younger? Because I think,
No, they're all like, I think they're
uh,
millennials.
okay, well,
I don't think they're
millennials.
quite Gen X, you
I mean,
know?
that's a coming off of Gen X, but
Yeah.
I think there's this trend today, which I don't have a problem with, but the greatest generation, the boomers, you got to be a man. Oh, you fell down, whatever. But I think that writing leaked into the script about, like you said, traditionally a man is chivalry and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
I think the younger generations, that's really not to them what a man is. It's fluid, right? And I think
Sure.
that was seen in the script.
But the problem is they don't even pay lip service to this idea. So like Tila and him did have chemistry. He was good. Like the guy, whatever,
Yeah,
Nicholas Galitzine, he's good. He looked like a He-Man figure.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I wish they had CG'd him a little bit more so where he was just mega buff. He should have, because he should have looked like the action figure. Just because
yeah,
again, my problem with the cartoon back in the day is Adam doesn't look any different than He-Man. And then this is the reverse thing where, well, so Adam's kind of a wimp, but then He-Man doesn't look much bigger. Like give us a contrast between the two identities.
he should have looked like Conan the Barbarian.
Well, sure. I mean,
Yeah, I
like
mean that's what. Yeah,
obviously the guy didn't look like him, and he had to get buff real fast. But they
yeah,
should have done Remember, you brought up Castaway last time, but they should have been all right. Let's shut down production and film special effects and let him eat nothing but steaks and work out 12 hours a day
yeah,
and just get
yeah,
so ripped. Because as He-Man, he just didn't look jacked enough, in my
yeah,
opinion. Like I had the action figures, and it's like those guys were jacked. That was the
yeah.
appeal of the figure, So it just seemed like, yeah, he didn't really look all that buff. But again, my big problem is the film is he's this superhero who just has no identity, like
Yeah,
what is the difference between He-Man and Adam? And Adam is supposed to be the sensitive side and He-Man is the masculine side, and
yeah,
there's just no difference between the two. So it's like, well, why does he even bother? It's like Shazam, right? I mean, so at least if I were given the property, just show the difference between He-Man and Adam. Because Adam's supposed to be this wimp, and Cringer is supposed to be the wimp, and then they get the sword, and boom, they're super powerful and
yeah.
super He-Man. Like his name is He-Man.
Well,
you know?
even this Battle Cat
Yeah,
was wimpy.
right.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Well, that's a holdover from the cartoon.
I can't.
Let's
I
talk
can't
about the
remember.
cartoon, Dave. Do
It's
you
been a
remember
long time.
Did you ever watch the
remember.
cartoon?
I remember it, but I can't remember a lot.
You know why you
Like,
can't, Dave?
why?
The show was Scooby-Doo without the mystery. It was terrible. I was
Yeah.
13. I gave it a chance. I probably watched, I don't know, I'm going to say I would come home from high school. I was a freshman in high school. I'd come home all beat to crap because high school's hard. I was a
Yeah.
nerd, and I was just survived the punches in the arm in high school. I'd come home and I'd watch He-Man and G.I. Joe after cross-country practice. I'd come home just like, just devastating. I'd sit down and I'd watch He-Man and on Channel 12 with barely like squiggly lines where my eyes were fuzzy, like I could barely get Channel 12.
Yeah.
And I'd watch it, and it was uniformly, it was never about anything. It was a terrible show. It was.
But did people really watch it? I mean, I didn't. I mean, was it?
It was
a
about
hit?
nothing. Every
Was it a
episode was
hit?
about. See, this is the problem. One good thing that happened in like in the 2000s or something is young people, hipsters said "F you" to all the mom groups who were like, "Don't make it violent." All the
Yeah.
Marge Simpsons, "Hey, stupid
Yeah.
squirrel," like Marge Simpson trying to stop violence, Itchy and Scratchy and all that. Because we did have to live through Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and all these superhero shows without violence.
Yeah.
They would just grapple or whatever. And He-Man was that. Like, nothing happened on that show. It was just the same show over and over. And today we learned about sharing. And it was like, nothing happened. There was no, like, Skeletor wasn't really evil. He-Man didn't do anything. There was no difference between him and Adam. There was no heat between Teela and He-Man. Nothing. So this movie was a vast improvement on He-Man. But who cares? It was still, as a movie, it was lousy, I thought. It was like, it's still confused. Like, nothing.
Well, like I said, I went in, I didn't want to see it because I'm like, this is going to be stupid.
Yeah.
And I came out and I gave it a 5 out of 10. Like, it was better than
50%, Dave. That's in Dan Johnson's grading, that's an F. 50%. I remember his grading scale. It was tough. 63 was like an F.
But I mean, I came out and it was, how do I want to word it? I was surprised. Like, I told you there were a few times I laughed, and the part that I laughed was at the end when they were all laughing and the guys would bend back. I kind of laughed and I'm like, that's just like the cartoon.
Yeah, that was funny. That part was funny.
I mean, I laughed at that part, and there was a lot of potential. They could have really done some cool stuff.
I just think they made their characters too smart. They're all based on Ram Man, Fisto, Mechaneck, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They should be dumb. They should come from a kind of a dumb planet. Like there should be remember, he was supposed to be Conan. Yeah. He was supposed to be he was supposed to come from a barbarian planet. They should have taken a little bit of the action figure idea and made them very like just I don't care if they're copying Drax. Make them all a little bit more literal minded. So there's a contrast between Earth and Eternia. They can be just earnest as all heck. Because who else is gonna? You have to, to me, to take it seriously, they have to believe in who they are. And if they're being all, give us a moment, Adam, like, oh, jeez.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
It just drives me crazy. There's no difference between the two worlds. So again, he says, let's call a war council, and then he goes, no, what did he
conference?
Call it? Did he say conference? What did he say? I forget, but it was basically like a human resource
seminar.
He said, "Let's call a seminar."
Yeah.
And again, they should all have just been, "I'm going to kill you, Adam.
You
talk like a witch." There should have been some joke about like what. I think people who talk like this are witches. Remember Naked Gun when Danny Houston is talking about the plans and he's going, "You mean fish people? We're going to be all turning into weird fish people?" And he's like, "No, not fish people." Like that's a funny gag. Always a solid gag when people won't pay attention in a meeting. If there's where my humor is, not just everybody's like arbitrarily as stupid and as smart as the scene will allow. That's always it just pisses me off. Like these are highly paid Hollywood screenwriters who don't know rule number 1 for comedy: contrast. There's no contrast in this film. So go ahead.
No, but again, it was better than The Mandalorian. For me.
Like I told you, it had a purpose. There was a reason for this movie to exist. It could have really been crowd pleasing, because I love the fact that he beat the crap out of Skeletor. I hate movies where the superhero or whatever is getting like it starts with In the Line of Fire and Beyond, where John Malkovich is holding his own against Clint Eastwood. You're going, wait, what?
Yeah, I agree with
Clint
that.
Eastwood should be whipping his ass. Like, what is this?
Well, Clint Eastwood was old in that movie.
Yeah,
remember?
I know, but still, John Malkovich. It's one thing
he's tiny.
It's one thing if the bad guy is Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's another thing, but John Malkovich is giving a run for his money.
Yeah, that's true.
What am I missing here? It just doesn't work. Like they always do that. Like why? I've watched 1,001 fights on X. Fights are quick. To me, a good fight doesn't have to be 20 minutes of people slugging at each other. It's just 10 seconds of one guy dominating. It's usually most fights.
Yeah.
Whether it's kung fu or whatever martial arts, it's usually hey, look at the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano fight.
Oh yeah,
17 seconds.
Yeah.
A lot of fights are just really quick, especially if you just happen to be a godlike superhero. Do they always have to dwell on this endless fight? So I like the fact that Skeletor just got his ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, that's good. That was a good touch.
Yeah.
But He-Man should have been like, yeah, I didn't want to do that, but you're evil, and evil's always going to lose. Today, kids, we learn evil always goes down, motherfucker. Make it actually funny.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was that funny. I just hated Tila.
So was this supposed to be a comedy?
I guess,
Or
like
was
Barbie.
And I kind of took it as an action movie.
Yeah, no, it's an action comedy. It's fine. It was the humor. The humor would have been well placed had they made the most of it. I just thought it was confused because the dopes today can't bear to look at classical dialogue. They can't watch Shakespeare, so they can't write classical dialogue. So everybody sounds like, "Oh no, you don't." It's that quality in today's writing over and over. It just bugs the piss out of me. Like, you guys can't just crack open for the $2 million you're getting to rewrite this screenplay. You can't just open a book. You can't even use ChatGPT to say, "Hey, make them sound more classically, like faux classicism, like Marvel Comics." Thor's like, "Nay, villain."
Yeah.
That's not hard to write. I could write it in my sleep.
Yeah.
And James Gunn and the other woman who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy did it really easily with Drax. Behold, That's funny because that's how Marvel Comics are, and He-Man could be that.
Yeah, and I kind of thought they tried a little to be a little like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
a little
but
bit.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was good. The second and third I thought were terrible because it relied on it.
And even the music was a little, they had Brian May from Queen.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fine. He-Man, the cartoon had that sort of soundtrack.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of the touches were actually pretty good. It sort of felt like the right universe. I just thought the script let all the actors I thought were good.
Yeah.
Tila irritated me only because she had to be the boss. Like, can you guys let this go? This movie's made for boys. Can you please let this idea go? This girls rule, boys are stupid. Like, enough. It's nobody look. Mark my words, Dave, and we're not going to talk about it because I'm not going to see it. Supergirl is going to flop.
Yeah,
they have to get it in their heads. We're not interested in your bullshit.
But I'll give Tila credit. She was pleasant on the eyes.
Sure. And she should be more pleasant on the eyes. It's like, give her the original costume.
That's true.
They revamped her costume. She should have a sex. Like, enough with the girls can't be sexy. Because I go on the internet, not very deeply, mind you, but I see pictures on Facebook, for crying out loud, of what girls are wearing. Like, stop with this facade that girls aren't showing their bodies. It's just like, stop.
Well, in the cartoon, Tila did, right?
No, she was tamed down, but the action figure.
Thinking of She-Ra, right?
No, well, the Tila action figure had just the typical 80s high-hipped bathing suit shaped like a snake, or it was like she had a snake costume, but she had typical 80s high hips. Remember, that was, they got rid of that because it was too objectifying. But for the longest time, that was the 80s swimsuit, was the high hip.
Yeah, but Sheila, because they had that, or Kira, right? What's her name?
She-Ra.
She-Ra,
was the female version. Yeah,
because they had that little blip at the end.
Yeah, which again, stupid, impatient. Like, you barely established He-Man. You're gonna do a She-Ra movie?
Yeah.
Dummies. Like again, we want a girl movie. No, you don't. You barely set He-Man up. You know? They just like Supergirl. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, I don't.
Dummies. Really. Nobody. Look, She-Ra was never a big hit. It's like,
Yeah.
look, I bought the figures for Roseanne. Roseanne had She-Ra, and I forgot who the bad lady was, but those are basically little mini Barbie dolls, and they had high-hipped swimsuits on, you know. And
Well, if Roseanne was here, she'd be roasting us, right?
yeah,
Wouldn't
she
she?
would. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd be mad at my sexism, but I'm right. Look, I
Yeah.
grew up on Frank Frazetta and Conan and all of that, and comics, and I know what boys read. And it's like He-Man was an answer to Conan, and the only reason why they created it is because they couldn't have a action figure line based on a guy who kills people and bloody and bags chicks.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it, so they created their own line because
Yeah.
Conan would be too controversial. So
And
that
it was
it.
It was Mattel,
It's
right?
Mattel, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the biggest, right?
Yeah.
Toy
yeah.
company, yeah.
Yeah, no, Mattel was the big one because of Barbie, and
Yeah.
but they had at the same time they had 2 years later they had Secret Wars. They got into Marvel, and they they were making action figures of Marvel Secret Wars, and they were getting into like muscular figures. They were doing a good job based
Yeah.
on sort of the He-Man archetype of like really big V frames and skinny waists and bent legs.
Like how you and I look.
Yeah, exactly. How
Yeah.
I look to this day,
In me
minus
too.
the stomach. But what's to say? I mean, I think.
I mean, if I had to choose, I recommended but I don't know if the younger generation gets He-Man, or you know what I mean. Like,
nah, it's clear the day is over.
They don't get it.
Yeah, why would they? But they like their boring horror movies.
And they like their Grogu, and you know.
No, they didn't. No, that movie's a flop.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, I think Star Wars really is played out.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're just grasping the last, what they can.
It's what's to tell, right?
Yeah.
How many ways can you keep watering down the same story?
Yeah, the Empire's coming back again.
For one of those sequels, those sequels do like, wait, the Empire came back. The first story, like what a terrible set of films. I mean, they're just terrible.
Yeah.
I was watching Rise of Skywalker. That's such a piece of
crap. The originals, right, are fantastic.
No, you got Star Wars and Empire. Jedi's still good, but we complained about it endlessly back in the day because of the Ewoks.
Yeah.
It's a lazy film. It's the laziest of the three, for sure.
And I think Lucas tried, with what's the one with Jar Jar Binks and when Anakin's young?
Yeah, the prequels.
The prequels and the Clone Wars.
So the Phantom Menace, the Clone Wars. Yeah.
Because Lucas was involved in those, right?
Yeah, he wrote and directed them.
Yeah.
They're terrible. Those are the rantings of a lunatic, those movies. But I will still take crazy Uncle George with his pants down and a lampshade on his head, howling at the moon versus J.J. Abrams' soulless copying.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think as bad as those three were, the prequels, they're better than what came after.
Well, I hate them, but they're just bafflingly bad, and I don't. Again, that's the millennials going, I think they're cool. I mean, it's like, to this day, I'm like, I've had arguments like, wait, you like those movies? Yeah. You think you think the Phantom Menace is better than The Empire Strikes Back? Yeah. Empire Strikes Back effects are terrible. Like, you guys are okay. I can't talk to you.
So, I mean, is that it then for the younger generations? They just are interested in the visuals.
I guess. I think it's video games,
Yeah,
it affects how they view stories,
Yeah.
Because anybody objectively who understands stories or just a good story structure would go, this movie is terrible. It's like nothing is happening, And no, the Phantom Menace is just awful. I mean, they're all awful. Like, they get worse. Like, I went to each one like a battered wife, thinking, okay, I think my husband will love me this time, And each time they were worse than ever. Like, these movies are just awful every time.
I think the one there's not much else to say about He-Man and Mandalorian, but I do
No,
think
we can talk about. Here's a
no, but
question.
I think Rogue One was decent, even though was
I
that the one
disagree
I'm
with.
thinking of?
Yeah, everybody likes it. I don't understand it. I think it's at the first hour of Rogue One. I looked at my brother. I said, "What the hell's happening?" Talk about
It was a
like
little
nothing. It was
confusing.
like the Love Boat. Like the first hour of Rogue One is setting up these characters I couldn't give a crap about. You
Well,
know,
because they're not in any other movie.
not it
That's
doesn't
the
matter.
problem.
They're just not interesting. There's no.
Yeah.
It's like a He-Man episode. Like just people are talking. I don't care. So Forrest Whitaker's coming out. Like I'm not interested in any of these characters. They're not interesting. I just didn't think the movie's very interesting. Then it commits the sin of what all the prequels do is like, oh wait, so the giant battle in Return of the Jedi is just another day on the job. Remember in Return of the Jedi, it was like all the spaceships and the Death Star.
Oh, yeah,
Then they have this giant battle, which is just like Return of the Jedi, and you're going, oh, so Return of the Jedi wasn't the be all and end all of all the battles between the Empire and the Rebel. They were constantly having this battle. So that's just weak. You could have we do need a giant battle at the end of a movie. So I was like, I didn't like Rogue One at all. Between Solo and Rogue One, I both of them are just crap. I didn't like them.
I didn't like Solo. I'm just trying to think if there's any redeeming quality. After
Rogue One had really cool visuals. Like
yeah,
it had nice Star Wars shots. It had plenty of cool Star Wars shots. And so what? I couldn't care less about the characters.
Yeah.
And everybody swears by it for some reason. I'm like a huge percentage of Star Wars fans keep going, I think it's the best since Empire. Like, what are you talking about? I tried watching it again right before I saw The Last Jedi. I remember going, I can't watch this. It was on Netflix or something. And I was like, this movie's really boring.
Well, okay, so since Mandalorian, like,
so rate, for me, rate them.
Well, my favorite is The Empire Strikes Back.
Sure.
Hands down. And then Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And then the rest I don't care about.
But if I had to go through, I would go Empire, Star Wars, Jedi, the Revenge of the Sith.
That's what I would probably
as much as I hate to, because it's pretty bad. Then I would go the Phantom Menace. Then I would go Attack of the Clones is reprehensible. Then I would go The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, not The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, and I would put Mandalorian and Grogu ahead of Rogue One and Solo.
Oh, see, I'd put Rogue One ahead of Mandalorian and Solo. And The Last Jedi. I hated that one.
Yeah, I hated it, but at least it felt like it was part of it because Carrie Fisher's still in it, and it's got Billy D. Williams, Leia and Han. It's got that. It's got something. It's got Chewbacca. It's got something I can go. I'm sort of involved in it. So I thought Rogue One and Solo, I just couldn't care less about any of it. Like Solo again, I tried watching Solo twice, could never finish it. Rogue One, I can't finish it.
How do you? I mean, Harrison Ford is Solo. I mean,
yeah,
you just can't replace him.
No,
in my opinion.
And they replaced him with a guy who's like, I like Alden Ehrenreich. I think he's great. He just seems nothing. He looks like a guy in a Han Solo costume.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem whatsoever like. There's that guy though. I forget his name. He's like he played young Harrison Ford in this movie Age of Adeline. You ever seen that movie with Blake Lively? No. Just watch a scene. The guy looks just like Harrison Ford. He looks exactly like him. And so
why didn't they bring him in?
He probably auditioned and they just thought he's not good enough. But there's no way he could be worse than Alden Ehrenreich in the role, only because at least he looks like young. Like if he's just imitating Harrison Ford in the 50s, they would have gone, "Hey, that kid, he looks just like Harrison Ford. Cast him."
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
And like that's what they should have done. It's just like I don't understand why you would risk everything for a guy who seems nothing like Han Solo. And the guy and what's his face, Glover. Not Danny Glover. we just, God, I always forget everything when I do the
Forrest,
podcast. What?
Forrest Whitaker?
No. Donald Glover.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem, again, Billy D. Williams and Harrison Ford, they're here.
Oh,
Today's actors are here.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams is a god. Harrison Ford is a god. These guys are little pipsqueaks. He's like, you don't in any way seem like you're going to grow into Billy D. Williams. You know?
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like, they just don't have it. They're kids. And they look like kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Lando for Halloween. You know?
Well, at least the one redeeming grace with the Mandalorian is with his armor. You could put anyone in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I mean,
no, he only showed up for a couple days. You see in the credits that there were 2 body doubles in him listed as the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's like the genius of the rock band Kiss.
Yeah,
you could replace him out and no one would even know.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know what else there is to say. Should we go through the tech specs? I mean,
sure. Yeah.
I preferred He-Man, but I didn't. I was unhappy as a movie. I'm not going to give it a pass as a complete film. You know, I liked it better than Barbie, and I liked it better than Mandalorian.
I enjoyed He-Man more than I did the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I left the theater more frustrated, but at least there was a feeling of my imagination was going. I was thinking about what they could have done to make a better movie. With Mandalorian, I don't even care. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I just don't even care about helping you. If I was handed the assignment, I go, you know what I would do, dudes? I would just chuck this shit in the trash because it's boring. I'm still going, why would they want to do this? Like, why would you want to make a Madam Web movie? Why would you want to make a Morbius movie? Why would you want to make movies about half the crap you make movies about? You really think fans are that desperate? And the problem is they do. They're that stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, nobody wants to see this.
Yeah.
You know?
But we did.
Well, again, I didn't want to see it. I went because I have a podcast. Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
and we promised our viewers or our listeners we would review it. So here it is. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have seen it if you didn't. If we weren't.
And it was mentioned in the last podcast. So I like to fulfill my promises.
Yeah.
So I honestly wished I just avoided it. Like I wished I'd avoided the Thunderbolts. You know, like stop. I wish I would stop paying for their garbage. So I'm definitely not paying. I'm not paying for Disclosure Day, and I'm not paying for Supergirl. Not a chance.
I'm not going to Disclosure Day, but I will give Masters of the Universe. It did make afterwards. I was just thinking about a lot of stuff. Like they could have, like you said, they could have done this. I did like this aspect. I did like this aspect. I liked the music in it. You know, it was. I don't remember. They had. It just brought back a lot of nostalgic memories.
Yeah,
at the end,
I thought visually it was actually fairly good. It was fairly complete. And you listen to my synopsis I wrote. It had a good plot. It's a Star Wars plot, but it had a good plot. You know, it's a Star Wars. It's, as our friend Alex loves to say, it's a hero's journey.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of that yesterday. Like, this is a hero's journey.
But it fine. It followed the hero's template to the letter.
Yeah.
But it's a good meaty plot. Like I can get into a guy. It's Conan. It's all of them. It's a guy wanting to avenge his father, and avenge his parents. You know, that's fine. That's something the TV show never had. You know, the TV show never went into that detail. His father just sitting there, his mother just sitting there mouthing platitudes. Again, I can't stress it enough. All you dorks my age who thought He-Man was a good show are idiots. It's like saying, well, Scooby-Doo was awesome. Scooby-Doo was terrible. I'm sorry, I was there. It was terrible. It was a boring show every freaking time. He did it. Oh, he did it. I bet it's that guy who's the guy dressing up like a ghost. You know, it's that just goes to show what saliva bubble blowing idiots we were. I hate this. We were the fuck around and find out generation.
Yeah.
No, we're the idiots who created participation trophies. We're the idiots who make kids eat first at dinners and eat only chicken nuggets and cheese pizza. We've done a lot of things wrong. We've done a shit ton wrong, and we liked Scooby-Doo and all these stupid shows.
Yeah, Roadrunner.
Well, Roadrunner, come on, that's different.
Well,
Roadrunners, that's classic.
I'm just saying the shows we watch.
Yeah, well, Roadrunner and Coyote, that's kind of genius in its way.
Yeah,
because it's frustrating on purpose. So when you get into the idea of see, you get impatient, but that was the whole notion. Like, just make everybody really pissed off and impatient.
But to be fair, He-Man had a lot of potential, and they just didn't get them. They could have made it really cool.
It was almost there. That's the problem. The plot was good.
Yeah,
that's what pisses me off. Like you were so close. Again, it's Mandalorian. Forget it. You're not even in the race. He-Man was almost a worthwhile movie. It's getting a lot of praise from people like Gen X. I see it, and it's like, you guys are praising a movie that didn't exist. It was almost there, but it was half baked. Like, well, this undercooked meat pie could have been awesome, but the crust wasn't there. See, I'm turning into a teenager again, just thinking of it. But all right, so let's do it. Pedro Pascal or Nick Galitzine?
Nick Galitzine.
Yeah, he looked like He-Man.
Yeah.
He had the face of He-Man.
But I agree, he needed to be buffer when he turned into He-Man.
I don't understand why in this day and age where you can do anything with AI and CG that they just didn't make him super crazy buff. As said previously. I like that. That just seems lazy.
Yeah.
Your movie costs $170 million and your hero isn't even super buff. What are you guys doing?
Maybe they ran out of funds. I don't know.
Like, where was the budget? That's just because you all the graft and corruption going on in Hollywood. Like, I don't think it's there.
I'm thinking of the movie, The Northman, right? That actor.
Yeah.
That guy. Whatever. I can't. That's how he should have looked.
Yeah, Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He's sure.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
And really, that's what I picture He-Man.
Even bigger.
Like. Even bigger.
So when they CG'd his muscles ripping out, it's like they did it, but then they didn't. Then they just filmed his regular body. So he looked pretty soft in a lot of shots. Like, he doesn't look that buff. Yeah. So that's the wrong approach. He should just look hilariously buff.
Well, it's kind of like, for me, this is another movie, Gladiator. One of the things that really bugged me was Russell Crowe didn't look like like he was soft. He didn't look.
I never thought about that movie. My problem was in that movie's plot mechanics.
But I'm just saying, look wise, like I would think that Russell Crowe.
Well, he looks a lot softer now. In fact, he looks marshmallow soft now.
He would look like Conan, right?
I guess. I thought he was fine. Again, he was an experienced battle-hardened commander. I got no problem with Russell Crowe's look in that film. That's not my issue with the film. My issue with the film is the pseudo Claudius politics of it all. I've seen it when it was done better. It's just action movie Claudius is what I saw it as. They even cast Jarek Jacobi as the lead senator. Anyway, don't get me started. It just was like the Michael Bay version of Roman history.
Yeah.
So it's Ridley Scott not being Blade Runner Ridley Scott. It's Ridley Scott being Black Hawk Down Ridley Scott. You know what I mean?
It's Ridley Scott being Tony Scott.
Exactly. Exactly right. Black Hawk Down felt like a Tony Scott movie. It just they're now they're interchangeable. Ridley Scott after Legend. Remember Someone to Watch Over Me?
Yeah.
And I liked that movie. I tried to convince myself it was awesome, even though it was terrible. It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I got older and went, why am I watching this film? It's a film about a doofus. A doofus who cheats on his wife and can't understand what to do. Like, well, just go back to your wife, dumbass. It's a dumb movie. Like, what a dumb plot. But it looks slick, and it had the music from Blade Runner. So I was like, oh, this movie, Ridley Scott is so awesome. I was like that, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
So after that point, then he does Thelma and Louise. Then he just becomes this conventional filmmaker. And people say bad Ridley Scott. I think it's like bad Spielberg. Here's the thing. Spielberg had 3 good movies. Jaws, Raiders, and Temple of Doom, in my opinion. After that, they all suck. All of them. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. Close Encounters, too. Jaws, Close Encounters. So he's got 4. Raiders and Temple of Doom. Those are the 4 movies of Spielberg's that I legitimately like. Then everything else I freaking hate.
Yeah.
You know, E.T. I was in '82. I was walking out there going, "What the hell was that? Why is everybody around me loving
really
this
like
film?"
E.T.
Yeah.
He didn't wait. I'm sorry. He didn't do the Goonies, right? Spielberg.
Well, he produced it.
I mean, I enjoyed the Goonies.
Oh, I hated it.
Oh,
I hated the Goonies. And, you know, back in 85, everybody hated it.
You're a Gen X, man.
No, I know. But remember, we were smart in those days. The critics were smart. And everybody hated Goonies. It's what happened is all the millennials watched it on TV and VHS. And they grew to like it. But it was dismissed as a piece of crap in 85, which it deserved because it was a piece of crap.
He did do Back to the Future, right?
He produced it. Yeah. That's still, I give that more to Zemeckis than Spielberg.
Okay.
You know, that's Zemeckis' labor of love, you know.
Yeah.
But okay, Spielberg produced it, so I guess he gets that one. But I never consider that a Spielberg movie. It has Spielberg touches.
Yeah.
But it's Robert Zemeckis' movie.
Okay.
I think. But anyway, how do we get talking about Spielberg?
Oh, we were talking about
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
How do we get on Ridley Scott? He's not even part of this.
I just brought up how He-Man. We were talking about He-Man.
Yeah.
Should have been more buff, and I said, it's kind of like for me, Gladiator, Russell Crowe.
Right. Boy, we went off a tangent on that one.
We went down the rabbit hole there. Sorry.
Okay, so female lead Tila versus who is there's no versus Sigourney Weaver.
I'm gonna go with Tila on that one.
I'm gonna go Tila too. Better performance.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver was terrible.
Yeah, she's bad.
Flat out terrible in this.
She's dropped a long way from Aliens.
Yeah. She's just I haven't seen anything. Even Avatar, she was pretty crappy in. When I think about it.
I think for me, the pinnacle of her was Aliens.
Yeah, I think Sigourney Weaver, folks, I'm going to say it. Sigourney Weaver is pretty overrated. She's right up there with Cate Blanchett. But she was great in Aliens, in the first Alien. She was fantastic. Of course. Aliens is her movie. But when I think of all her other movies, she's not that great. Like, The Year of Living Dangerously, she's nothing in that movie.
Yeah.
You know, and what other big movies has she had? The Gorillas in the Mist? Who the hell? Look, to be fair, never saw it, never wanted to.
I haven't seen it, But in Working Girl, she's nothing amazing. I don't know. When I go through Sigourney Weaver's career, I just think, I actually don't like, she's pretty good in Galaxy Quest. Her small part in Ghostbusters was decent.
Yeah, I guess. Kidding.
I mean, it was small.
Could have been anybody, but she's fine. Yeah, she's fine in Ghostbusters. But in Galaxy Quest, she actually does she's fairly funny, you know.
Yeah. She's no Sean Young.
No, she's
especially in Blade Runner. Sean Young. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Sigourney's got Aliens. Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of movies I don't think she's particularly great in. Especially this one, where she seemed really dumb.
Yeah,
like, listen, but like Linda Hamilton and her and Jamie Lee Curtis and I don't know. They should all be in one of these movies about tough old broads. Joe, I've had enough of your shit, man.
But they all seem to act the same.
Yeah, like you boys have a lot to learn. Like, we do, because we're so stupid. You tough old leathery bitch. I'm sorry.
That's
going off
right.
on another tangent. There's nothing to talk about these films. I mean, they're like, listen to us. They're nostalgia trips, and they're just not that good.
Yeah.
You know? But what's coming isn't that. Look, I haven't seen Backrooms. I know that's another but my son who loved Obsession, he saw it 3 times in the theater, and he was prepared to go again with me.
Backrooms?
He said Backrooms, no, Obsession.
Yeah.
He said Obsession. What a dumb name. I mean, come on.
That's
like one of those straight-to-video movies called Treachery.
My son saw Backrooms, and he said it was the creepiest thing he'd seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my son said, well, Obsession was way better. So I'm like, ooh, uh-oh.
But my son hasn't seen Obsession, but
okay. Well, Obsession was weak, really weak. So,
I mean, I'll see The Back Room if you want to talk about it.
Well, I guess we go see Obsession. We should do our own podcast. Like, this is sort of the precursor. I'm fine with analyzing what's wrong with today's generation, because if Backrooms is good and has Chiwetel Ejiofor in it, which, he deserves. Hey, he deserves that 10%, in residuals. God bless him. He needs it. He's a great actor. So I'm happy for him for that. So I'm curious about it. But if it's worse than Obsession, I'm like, ugh. Come on.
So wait, just so I know, what movie do you want me to see?
Now
for the next podcast, are you making an announcement?
Yeah, I'll make an announcement. Go see Obsession, and we'll see Backrooms and Obsession, and come back and see what all the fuss is about.
Okay, so I got to see them both. I haven't seen either one.
Yeah,
okay.
Obsession. Again, I'm telling you, I don't want to color your opinion, but standard issue horror, like ripped off plot from Monkey's Paw, which there's a million of those. And you have to be careful what you wish for, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's like an hour. It's like an hour and a half straight of the same crap happening over and over, just bloodier and bloodier. And like, this is nuts. Who the hell wants this? I hated it, actually. Like, it's an unpleasant, shrill, terrible movie. And the kids don't even know how to respond to it. They're just throwing popcorn at the screen.
My son saw Backrooms, and he downloaded the game on his PlayStation. He's playing the Backrooms.
Okay, ask him about Obsession. I'm curious, because that movie made a lot of money.
Interesting.
And I'm like, okay, I look, I'm old. I don't get the new generation. I'm sorry, I don't understand them. But I just saw a tedious, typical horror film. And again, horror is not my game. But as I've said, I think horror movie fans are the easiest lays on the planet. They like every freaking movie that ever came out.
Yeah.
And I've known that since college, because all the guys I knew in college who loved horror films loved every stupid horror film.
Yeah.
God, you guys love every movie, and they all suck. Oh, well, the thing about Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is it's better than Nightmare on Elm Street. No, even Nightmare on Elm Street 1 wasn't all that good. If
they're all
the
same. Yeah.
I didn't think the first one was all that.
Horror's not my.
But you got The Exorcist. The Exorcist, the only movie with some weight to it. That's the only one, and that's because it's about Christianity and demonic possession, and it's about something, And all the other movies are just like Halloween and Jason. It's like I've seen them. I just don't care. It's not my thing. So anyway, I'm the worst guy to talk about it, because I don't care about the genre. But every time I watch it, like, again, I saw Scream. I didn't like it, but I remember Scream 2. I kind of enjoyed. Audience was into it. That where I'm like, I've never seen it since. I just didn't. I don't care about the genre. But I remember thinking,
I think I've seen parts of Scream 1, but I just don't care.
Yeah, Scream 1, I thought it's too and I saw it in an empty theater the first time, and I thought it was too self-referential and too cutesy. The sequel, it was more of the same, but again, saw it in a crowded theater with teenagers. It was like, it was their day, and they were like, I guess this is what they like. Okay. But I never bothered after that. I just didn't care. I didn't want to. Now they're up to 7. And I guess number 7 made the most money ever. And you saw those previews. I'm like, oh, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
That looks like Nev Campbell has now become Jamie Lee Curtis. Listen, asshole. Like, oh my God. Yeah. I liked you better in Wild Things, Nev.
Yeah.
Where's Denise Richards when you need her?
It's not many good films coming out.
To keep rehashing the Scream premise, like, oh my goodness. I couldn't even sit through, like, there's no way I was going to see number 3. I just wasn't interested. And, like, they're up to 7. And I did see the Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween 2.0, whatever the hell it was, where she was like the tough old bitch. Come on, Michael, you asshole. Like, it was terrible. Like, let's get Sigourney in there.
or who's the woman from Terminator?
Linda Hamilton.
You could switch him in and out.
No, they should make one of those Morgan Freeman old fart movies with all the leather-faced bitches. We're shoe leather gals. Come and get us, motherfucker. Yeah, that's the gang, the shoe leather gals. All with their leathery faces, their shotguns.
I think we have an idea. We should pitch this.
Sure. They can fight Jacko. Yeah.
Oh man, I needed a good laugh.
Yeah,
especially after the movies we talked about.
No, it's just too much. Like, are we too old for? Should we like be watching foreign films at this point? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
What am I doing? Expecting more out of this stuff? It's based on a freaking He-Man cartoon. And it was, again, for the folks that don't know, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's better than a He-Man cartoon, but it still doesn't reach potential of Star Wars or Raiders or one of the
original
greats.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I just mean when we say, when our generation says Star Wars, we just mean A New Hope to you dorks.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean A New Hope? Like, no, shut up. It's called Star Wars. It was called Star Wars. In 77, it was called Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what we called it. There was no chapter title.
And definitely Raiders, Temple of Doom. Those two.
Anyway, we're going. That's, folks, if you're wondering why we're going off on these tangents, it's these movies really aren't worth talking about. So that's the deal. So yeah, I guess we need to really dig into why Obsession and Backrooms are capturing the kids' imaginations, because that's the deal. Other than that, oh wait, no, I don't care about talking on the music or the cinematography or the edit. There's just nothing worth discussing. It's all just who cares.
I agree. I can't wait till She-Ra comes out though.
Well, the thing is, the movie's gonna fly. I think the movie will have legs because it's better than the usual. So I think on Amazon, it's probably going to catch on, and they probably will eke out some cheap shit straight to Amazon She-Ra movie. Or She-Ra and He-Man or something. But if they were smart, they wouldn't, and they would just make another He-Man movie.
But again, back to my point, this is about movies and this podcast, and this Gene's podcast, and I'm just happy to be here. But there is something to see a good movie in the theater. Like, there is something, like, I'm just like, when I saw The Northman in the theater, it was just amazing. And, just like Blade Runner, Star Wars, Empire
I don't put The
Strikes
Northman
Back.
up there.
I mean, I'm talking of a recent one. I'm trying to think of one that's like,
even a recent one. I'm telling you that you won't see the drama. The drama was great.
It was good.
The drama was flat out great.
But it's not in the theaters. I'm talking about.
But it just came in the. You missed it.
I missed it.
You should have gone like week 1 when everybody thought it was a rom-com.
Okay.
You got to see that movie because that was actually one of the recent great movies. It's actually it's actually about our. I can't stress it enough. It's actually a movie for our time.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
Like The Devil Wears Prada too?
Kind of, but not as accessible. It's not the same kind of accessible experience.
No, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
so,
it's okay. I mean, it's good. It's really good. All right, Dave. Thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks. Yeah,
it was great to have you.
So
look forward to our next. Well, our next podcast is actually about Weird Al Yankovic, which you're gonna miss because you just couldn't do it, even though your cousin Tony Geary was in UHF.
I know, but you can plug that I'm my dad.
I will definitely plug that he's your cousin or was your cousin.
This screen is like I look
peace.
Weird.
It's cool. It's almost like you are in like shaky cam. So you're in a Tony Scott movie or a Paul Greengrass movie, and I'm in the staid Ridley Scott movie.
Did you do something to me? I don't even look real.
I don't know. And now you're on mute? You're on mute?
No,
you're not.
I look like an NPC. Weird. I don't know.
All right, thanks, folks. Gene, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Next one is Weird Al Yankovic. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for listening to Fabulous Film and Friends. Copyright 2026, a Bel Air Films production.